Hey everybody, welcome to the show. Thank you for hopping on this evening. It's been a crazy week for everybody. I know it sure has been for me, um, but I have been taking advantage of it and getting a lot of people, a lot of guests on who I've been wanting to have on for a while. And this evening is no different. I did have a cancellation here, but I had somebody who was ready to hop into the seat, and this is a person that I've actually met in person. This is somebody that I've taken the offline and the online and went offline with it. And I met Michael, who Michael Goldberg is going to be our guest this evening. We met at a workshop with Lila Smith, and I had met Lila through LinkedIn, and she kind of invited me on there. So it was pretty cool to go meet a lot of new people that day, and a lot of these people I've still reached out to and talked to on a regular basis. So before I bring Michael in, just real quick, everybody, I want to give a shout out just to my sponsors for the show, guys, the regular people who've been sponsoring me. So guys, if you get a chance, go to the website at www.gondolahairnet.com. And what Gondola Hairnet does is they actually provide a professional solution to containing unsightly debris at construction sites and demolition sites. So demolition and construction and that sort of thing is still considered an essential business right now. So those things are still kicking, going. And, so if you still have those needs, go over to the website and check it out. It's really cool. And then again, just real quick, go to check out the Pika Bunny app, guys. And there it is again. Let me pull it up real quick. This is the Kids Kindness Tracker app that you can download. It was created by Wendy Gahulia, who I've had on the show. And she's a pretty good sponsor, and she helps, she's helped me a lot, just to help me find my way getting set through on the show and everything. So I really appreciate her. Well, looky there. There is Miss Lila Smith herself. Appreciate you. I'm glad you're watching this evening. So without any further ado, guys, let me bring in my guest, Michael Goldberg.
Hey.
How you doing, sir?
You know what? I am great.
You're great.
And, I'm really happy to be here. And, I've got my health, knock on wood. I know you got your health. Lila's got her health. I know my family's got their health. And hope everybody's doing real well out there in terms of their health and being safe and smart.
Right. Exactly. So, real quick, we were having just a little brief conversation before we hopped on here live. And one of the things that we were talking about was, of course, the ongoing situation. And Michael's been taking advantage of it. He actually did a virtual happy hour today, I believe is what he worded it. And, again, if you want to talk about taking advantage of the time that you have, being able to reach out to people and quote unquote practice social distancing, this is the way to do it, guys. I don't know no better way than hopping on video now and reaching out to people because, again, you never know. So how did that actually go this afternoon whenever you had your
It really went fantastic. We had probably about 25, 30 people. I had about 60 folks that were registered. And, this started a couple of weeks ago. I'm a fairly extroverted person.
Yeah, that's true. Oh, we had a freeze up. So again, everybody, that's the thing about doing live streaming right now. So more than likely what's going on is, since there's a lot of people at home now, a lot more people are streaming live, a lot more people are on the internet, and a lot more people are using up bandwidth. And I don't know if you know, but to stream a show that I'm doing in 720p, you got to have a pretty big bandwidth to get your upload speeds up there. So, it happens from time to time. Let me see if I can pop him out and pop him back in. If he's lost the stream, and yeah, he's gone. But again, this isn't the first time. So I've actually had this happen before. Now I'm kind of prepared for it, right? So I had this happen with another guest, and it was kind of funny that whenever this happened, I kind of freaked out a little bit because I've never done. First of all, I was never doing a show, and I never knew what was going on. I was getting scared. I've never, had that happen before. But again, it's live, folks. So this is what you're going to get. But real quick, since I got people here, let me go ahead and say hi to a couple of people who've liked the comments and stuff so far. Antonio Salva, thank you. Cynthia Perez, Irma, Lena, hey, what's up, girl? And Sophia Nello, my guest from last night. She gave me a love. That's right. Awesome. Appreciate that. Yeah. And, guys, if you don't know who's writing the comments here, this is I'm here with that's Lila Smith, guys. And if you don't know who she is, go to whatever social media platform you want to go to, and you'll find her. And you spell it Lila Smith, and she is a gem, my friends. She's the reason that me and Michael met in the first place. So yeah, I'm taking questions. Whatever you want to talk to me about. So this is what doing this thing on the fly is about, right? So if Michael pulls back up, whatever will happen will happen. So again, what we were just really talking about when we first started getting on here was just about the ongoing situation and how everything's had to change literally, especially in, the field that he does. He does HR and talent acquisition. So having to switch everything and not being able to do what I call the VAK, which is the visual, the audio, and the kinetic. So when you meet somebody, that's one of the things you do: visual contact, auditory, listening to somebody, and then kinetically, it's just meeting someone, touching them. Well, that's been taken away from most of us. It's a precautionary measure, and I understand. But you still can use the other two functions, right? You can still connect visually, you can still connect auditory, and you can still have conversations with people. And I see it as a way that I think video is still an awesome tool, and you can still play around with it functionally. Yeah. So creativity can play a lot of things. So one of the things that I was that interesting that you say that, and there he is, he's back.
I don't know. So here's I don't know, not to interrupt well, go ahead and finish your story, and then I just want to tell you.
No, go ahead.
What's happening? So here's what's going to happen.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Oh, I was just telling everybody that right now what's going on, since there's so many people at home, right? And with so many people using bandwidth, getting on these streams, getting here, taking up a lot of the uploads and speeds, because when you're doing streaming, a lot of people don't know, it's not about how much download speed you get, it's how much upload speed you have. So if your upload speeds are really slow, because a lot of people are uploading videos, people doing those things, you can get kicked out. So bandwidth is limited. I don't care what you're using. I don't care if you're using fiber. I don't care if you're using a DSL line. I don't care if you're using, a coax. All that stuff there, it's very limited. So,
well, and that's what I was about to say.
So what were you saying, Michael?
So I was just saying that. So this has happened twice on 2 live events where I've been a guest, and all of a sudden, just my spectrum just goes out kaput. So now I'm gonna buy a Mophie or whatever they call those things, the mobile Wi-Fi's that I can just push.
Yeah.
That connects to an AT&T or Verizon or something to do it, because
it freezes and it gets caught up on there.
It's going to get worse before it gets better, and that's why there's a lot of hiring going on. So anyway, what was I saying before? What was the question?
So again, let me just go real quick. This is what I love about live video, because I've actually had this happen. So I kind of knew what to do whenever it did happen. I was like, okay, I already know. I've seen this happen before. The first time I did, I freaked out. I didn't know what to do. I had planned all these questions and all this stuff. Now when it pops out, I already know what's going on. So it's going beyond on the technical side of what's happening. So again, if you start seeing pixelation, you start seeing lag. And a lot of people, this is technical stuff. Let me just tell you, this is what I've learned in the small amount of time that I've been doing video streaming, is if you're streaming at a real high speed, at a higher upload speed, like if you say streaming 720p, which is what most people stream on, if you're using YouTube, that sort of thing, you're probably going to lag. You're probably going to get kicked out like you're doing. So you might have to kick down to like 420 if you want to do, unless you have a fiber line. And if you got a fiber line, you get a massive upload speeds like 40 megabits per second to upload. So it's pretty insane if you have a fiber line, but not many people do.
Yeah. No.
And that's pretty expensive.
I already see it. So I see our friend Lila's asked a question.
Yeah, so she was saying, what role can creativity play in a unique time like this? So, I'll go ahead and let you answer that one, and then I'll answer. I'll give my answer to that as well afterwards.
Sure. I think creativity comes in the form.
This is always fun.
And while it's not 100% around creativity of, oh my God, it's a brand new idea. I think I brought it. It was a pretty fresh idea with TA, but someone had one scheduled a day before, a week before mine. So it's okay. But I wanted to bring TA leaders and job seekers together.
Yeah,
for an hour and a half straight, and it was great because it was great. As extroverted, attention deficit disorder people that recruiters are, we need human contact. And while not all of us are, actively employed and stuff like that, the ones that are, they have time to connect with their friends. The crazy thing is, Gabriel, is we have had the opportunity to hold virtual meetings, but instead we chose to wait to go to conferences to see people or meet, or networking meetings to shake hands. We could have been doing this all along. So to me, creativity during this unique time is really just doing something novel that brings people together, because I think we all, no matter whether you're introverted or extroverted, we all need that sense of community. So I want to do just a LinkedIn Live or a Facebook Live if you don't have LinkedIn Live, or YouTube Live. Just anybody can do it. You got to be brave and you got to step out of your comfort zone to do it. But it's things in interactions like this with Gabriel face to face. We're having a face to face conversation. We're not breathing on each other, and it's perfect. This is the way it happens. Lila, she's definitely in there as well, because I want to stay in touch with my friends primarily to know that they're doing well and that they're healthy.
Yeah, that's this is a great way to, again, and when she's talking about being creative, right? So there's so many things that you can actually do right now, and again, the means to go out there and create video, create content, do these kind of things have been there from the beginning. Nobody's just used them though. So now, literally, you don't have to do what I'm doing here with the stream and everything else. You can go hop on Facebook Live. You can go hop on Instagram Live. You can go, literally, you can go get on any of these platforms, turn it on, start talking, start creating all your own content. You don't have to have all the bells and whistles. This is
correct.
For me, this is the fun stuff. You don't have to, if you really do have a message and you really wanted to go out there and create and talk to people and reach out. I mean, you can FaceTime, you can Zoom call. These options are being used now as a tool in schools.
But we were talking about that on the happy hour. We were worried that Zoom could be running out of bandwidth at some point if everybody's hopping on a Zoom call like this.
Yeah. So
not like this, but like the virtuals.
Yeah. So I told everybody, hey, look, you use all the other channels. Facebook has really big bandwidth. They're one of the biggest ones out there. So, hey, if you're going to use that kind of sort of thing and you're doing one-on-ones, get on Facebook. It's not going to, again, Instagram, same sort of thing. Instagram's actually rolled out. They've actually rolled out where you can do a live with two people. And the first time I saw this was actually with Lila the other night. It kind of caught me off guard. I was like, how the heck is she streaming live with the person on the same thing on Instagram? because before you couldn't have people. You couldn't. It was just whoever was talking. Like, so what I do now with Instagram is I do it behind the scenes. So if, say, she were to hop on my Instagram live, like wink, wink, get on there now, I could actually pull her up and talk to her and talk to you at the same time through Instagram while I'm talking to you doing this. This is what the interesting part about being creative and being fun with video.
I didn't know you could do that.
Exactly.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. So, and let me tell you, she asked. Let me pull this up. She asked a question for you. So she's saying, Michael, what's the employer's version of chicken soup? What can a leader do to take care of their valued team members right now?
Yeah, that's a great question, Lila. Thank you. And so for those of you who don't know, chicken soup is the Jewish penicillin, if cooked right. I'm not talking about Campbell's or Swanson or whoever makes soup. I'm talking about you're putting that raw chicken in there and you're letting it simmer for hours and hours. And that is the Jewish penicillin. You put a matzo ball in there since we're close to Passover, and baby, you are cooking with that. So, right. So basically, I think what leaders can do right now is really have somebody. Sorry, getting a lot of feedback. Is your volume up or is it me?
No, let me tell you what it is. I have Lila right now on Instagram. So I have to listen to him from my computer. Yes,
Lila.
I don't know where to listen to. Lila. So I actually, Randy Holloway is here on Instagram. Yes, she is. So again, this is cool. I actually have you and her now going at the same time, because this is what being creative with video can do for you. You can actually do so many things right now. So the limitations. I don't know where to look. Yeah, it's pretty crazy, right? But this is.
Tell her to stop stomping on my broadcast. Tell her it's my turn, not her turn.
So,
when you say, "Okay, I'm signing off of Instagram,"
yes,
just watch you guys.
Yes, you can. Thank you. Okay, bye, Lila. So again, but again, that was part of what I was saying as far as doing Instagram. You can do this now. What we're doing here now, I'm streaming. Actually, let me tell you, I'm streaming to my Facebook page, YouTube, Periscope, and I'm also doing with Twitch. I don't know if you use Twitch or not, but Twitch is it's more of like a gaming platform. But I'm just testing it out to see if what can I find doing it, because I don't have I actually don't have LinkedIn Live yet. So.
Oh, you're not? Well,
no.
I pulled you up. Oh, it went to your YouTube feed. That's what it was.
Yeah, so that's what it does. It'll take me to the YouTube feed, but I've applied like 3 times already. As far as
let me try you a trick. You want to know the magic?
What's that?
This is how I got it. You ready? So I had applied twice before, was rejected. I submit a customer service thing going, hey, kind of want to check on the status. They go, when they closed it, they said, hey, tell us how our service was. And that service was, hey, I'm sorry, we're rejecting you for the second time.
Yeah.
So how was your service? Well, I rated it a 1-star. I said, you guys aren't, you have no criteria or basis to bring people onto the platform.
Oh, wow.
To LinkedIn. And the next day, I sent it off, didn't think anything of it. And then the next morning, I remember it was on a Sunday morning, I logged into LinkedIn and it said, hey, you have access to LinkedIn Live. Literally within 24 hours, LinkedIn.
Wow.
Saw it. I mean, and I know people can bitch about them all the time, but
yeah.
Look, they did me right, and I love them, and I'm a loyalist to them. So
again, that's my favorite platform. So that's why I'm biting so hard to try to get on there, because
bite a little, though.
Yeah. So I've been reaching out to people and tell me, how the heck, I've heard so many different things. Somebody says, well, you got to have 20,000 followers. And then someone said, no, you don't. Check this out. I got somebody, they showed me somebody only had 4,000 followers and they had LinkedIn Live. And we'll go, well, how the heck do you pick the criteria to pick the person you're going to allow to stream to? Because I could go on there and create content all day if I wanted to, if that's what they want. I'll go do that every single day if I have to. But, again, it's because I'm pushing myself into wanting to do streaming, do live streaming. I'm in the process of working to make a video production company, so I'm actually learning behind the scenes how to do video editing as well. And
Nice.
again, all my thumbnails and everything that I'm making for like my YouTube page, for my Instagram stories, all that stuff, I'm making myself. And a lot of it's just self-learning, using YouTube, using the free time that I have right now. I mean, I'm still on the same schedule, even though I'm self-quarantined. So I get up at 4:30 in the morning, and I just start turning out whatever I can.
You are a better man than I.
No, I don't. It's not, and it's maybe not to brag, but the thing is, now I get up with pep in my step. I really don't want to get up here and start doing stuff and start learning a lot more of the technical aspect of how to do video, how to do streaming, how to set up audio. So all those things are now they're part of what my passion is in creating.
A great person for video is Fanny Dunnigan. Do you know Fanny, Gabriel? Have you met Fanny? She's an amazing person at that. On video and stuff like that, she'll help you there. She'll help you with your content development and help you structure. And I think, and Lila can do the same thing, right? So
yeah.
There's Judy Fox, who's a LinkedIn.
Oh yeah,
she's done me. She's a coach of mine, and was.
Yeah, I've seen Judy's everywhere.
Yeah, she'll be on my LinkedIn Live next week.
Oh, cool. Yeah, because I've seen her already. Like let's see, I've seen her like on 4 different people that I follow. I've seen her on their shows, and I go, wow, that's pretty awesome that she's everywhere. If you don't know who Judy Fox is on LinkedIn, then you're not following the right people.
Right. Or Fanny or Lila.
Lila, for any of those, particular reasons. If you don't reach out to them, then, where have you been? That's my question.
Exactly.
So
did we answer? We didn't answer. ADD got the best of us again. Dang it. So
yeah.
So what was it? There were questions up there again?
Okay, so this is what her question was, right? So she's asking, what's the employer version of chicken soup? What can leaders do to take care of their valued team members right now?
Yeah, I think the best thing you can do is check on your people. Every day, check on them. Hey, how are you doing? And I'm not talking by text or by email. Pick up the phone and talk to them.
Yeah.
Or have a quick Zoom meeting. Set it for every day with each one of your employees for 15 minutes. If you have more than 50 employees, obviously that's going to be broken up over time, and nobody can get to 50 people a day. The day would be over if you did that.
Yeah.
But just simply reaching out and making sure that they're healthy, they're safe, everybody's good, not only with them, but their families, if they're living by themselves, which I know has to be hard for a lot of people. I mean, I just can't imagine it. And, those are the people that need the most love right now, are the people that are home alone and are scared and don't know what to do. Managers, if they're working, their managers should be out there reaching out to them. I think CEOs should be reaching out to employees randomly, like pick 10 a day and go through them just to check on them, right? So really when it comes down to it is, that's how they're doing. Don't over micromanage. Trust that they're doing work, I think, is another big one.
Yeah.
One of my big predictions is that the concept of not being allowed to work from home unless you're in the service industry or a call center will be gone. It's going to be gone. People are going to want to work from home.
Yeah.
What was that?
No, that's my phone. I'm sorry.
No worries. So, right. So basically it's, just simply taking care of one another and trusting them.
Yeah.
Is going to be huge. But I think commercial real estate, as we know it, will change. So whether we're in these little pod communities of work, so at co-working locations, which that could be a pretty good possibility, but now they're struggling. Everybody's struggling on that. They're not.
Yeah, I mean, and like we were talking ahead. I mean, we were talking beforehand. I mean, we were talking about the unemployment numbers, right? It's insane that Yeah. And we haven't seen numbers like this. We haven't seen stuff like this since, like you said, the Great Depression. These are scary times for folks. So, being able to really reach out to your employees, letting them know that you still care about them, letting them know that you're still, that, hey, you're part of still the priority of what we're trying to do as a business and those sort of things. I mean, as an employee myself, I'm like, I want to hear that. I would love to, I love to hear that, hey, okay, at least I know my employer cares about me and not just about the bottom line. And,
Right.
and
yeah, I mean, other things, other ideas is, send them a gift card once in a while. Take turns sending them out. Have more team meetings
yeah,
than you would regularly do, just so everybody has that interaction. Managers will hate to admit it, but they do love their employees, even though some drive them up to the wall. They still love their employees. Each one brings every employee that I've managed, everyone brought something different to the table. And that's what I loved about my diverse recruiting teams, is they just came from all walks of life, and they were superstars because they cared back. I cared for them like they were seriously, I didn't treat them like children, but like they were a part of my family. They were my brothers and sisters, and we were all in this together. And I think that's how managers need to look at things these days, rather than it's, managers at one level and everybody else is down to get that right. That's, and now could that be going on in different industries right now that are employing? So warehousing and all that. Yeah. I mean, absolutely it could. But for those that are working from home, there's hope. This thing eventually will end. I think that sitting and worrying about and watching the news and doing things like that are just going to keep spinning your wheels in your head. You're not going to focus. And if you're working and you have the CNN or the MSNBC or the Fox on, whatever your choice is, turn that off, because you start turning around, your productivity declines. But there are people that only have 1-bedroom apartments. Yeah. Right. And they, so I feel for them. They don't, some work on card tables, some work on with their bed as a desk, some work in their bed because they don't have a desk. I mean, those are the people that really my heart pours out to. And there are people that are being laid off that might not have the ability to apply for jobs.
Yeah.
And they can't go to the library. They can't go to, FedEx, Kinko's. They can't go anywhere to have access to the internet to find a job. So I'm also predicting that at the hourly level, like the $10 to $15 per hour, those folks are going to go door to door looking for jobs. It's going to be like the old days, where you walked in with a coat and tie. I mean, not in coat and tie, but in these environments, maybe jeans and a shirt, t-shirt or polo or something like that. That's what people are going to have to do to apply for jobs. Sorry.
Yeah, it's again, these are unprecedented times that we're living in right now. We've never seen anything like this, where literally they just gave the biggest bailout that they've ever done in United States history. I mean, $2.2 trillion. That's my whole thing is where's this going to come from? Where, at some point, God, they are just printing money now. I mean, because that's
technically, yes, they are. It's the Treasury. I think they have the rules to print that money. The question is how are we going to repay that debt? The SBA loans that they set aside for us, I think it's like $2 billion for small businesses. So I applied today. We'll see what happens. I got nothing to lose. And yes, it'll be a loan, but the thing is I would think that the next president that comes in, that's my prediction, will hopefully forgive those loans. They'll have to increase taxes as a result of it, and that's could be the eventual thing. Interest rates are going to have to skyrocket for the banks to make their money. And number two, what's it called? The debt to credit ratio. That's I mean, there's so much, and not to be downer, but there's going to be the while there's not light at the end of the tunnel right now, and it may not look that way, but we're only in day number 3 of shelter in place, or day number 4,
Yeah.
day number 3, shelter in place. And, essentially 2 weeks since this thing kind of took over it. But this thing's going to hit its peak next week. They said that we have surpassed cases here in the U.S. than any other nation.
Yeah. That's again, and that's the one thing that I've been telling everybody, of course, is when we're talking about this is, that's kind of the frightening aspect of it, is because there is no, first of all, we don't even have any kind of inclination of how to even stop something like this. The only way we're doing it is trying to quarantine everybody and shut everybody down, and that's impossible. You still have things that have to be done. So, you just get to that point where you still have to figure out a way to function as a society. And then on top of that, even if they do find a vaccine, how quickly can they mass produce it? How quickly can they hand it out to people? I mean,
right.
Yeah.
So, all right, we're talking too much doom and gloom.
Yeah, I know, but
I know. If you haven't talked about it recently with somebody, I get it. That's fine.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
I want your audience to tune in.
Hey, but here we go. Let's go back to talking about, questions here. So Lila asked a question, Michael, who's actually hiring right now?
So Amazon is hiring. So it's healthcare, manufacturing, warehousing, supply chain logistics is huge. So Amazon opened 100,000 jobs last week to up their delivery driver and their warehousing folks. It's my understanding that Amazon within 1 week was able to switch to virtual recruiting, which is just amazing. There are some other companies like Grubhub and Favor. They're looking for drivers because people don't want to venture. The smart people who stay in their homes and are actually sheltering in place.
Yeah.
They're doing the right thing by having people deliver stuff to them. It's the folks that are going walks on Katy Trail. It's a super nice day, or going to the beach like you see in Florida and California. You just want to take your head and put it through a wall. But there are lots of opportunities. And look, they know, these companies know, like CVS, Walgreens, they're also doing a ton of hiring.
Yeah.
Not only in their distribution centers, but in their stores as well. Though I've understood they were looking for 50,000 people. My understanding, they're supposed to have filled most of those positions by the first of next week. Is what I heard. So that's pretty damn good to hire 50,000 people.
Yeah,
but,
that's
the accents or the applicant experience, the candidate experience is going to be, it's warm bodies, get them in, get it out. But what I was about to say is these companies know that as soon as things start back on the upswing, that they're going back, whether they were furloughed employees or they now can go back to their old jobs. I mean, there may come a time where you and I, may have to be a delivery driver or do something like that. And there's no shame in that. There really is no shame. And I'm telling you, these times you're going to take whatever you can get.
Yeah. And, again, when you're without a job and you really need some sort of income, you don't have the option to say, let me pick and choose, like we were at this point now. Before a year ago, you're like, well, I can go look for my job and pick and choose what I want. But again, if the main idea is survival and getting through, you take whatever is available. So it's kind of like shopping right now, right?
That's exactly. So, but what the thing to realize is that these are the companies that people will remember that stepped up and said, let's get America back to work. People are going to remember. There are about, I think, 20 to 25 companies. If anybody wants to DM me, I've got the article. I don't know if I can post that in the comments here, but I don't think so. But basically, I can.
Yeah, I think if you put it in the comment section, there should be a private chat right there. You can and I can actually forward it on here. So yeah.
Yeah, so I'll pull that up, but basically, it basically boils down to this. And pardon me for not looking at the camera. I'm just pulling up this link.
That's okay.
But these are the 24 U.S. companies who are hiring right now. So I'll put that as soon as I get my mouse going.
Yeah. So yeah, this is
so that's in there. So I saw it, and I did see another question. Did I not see that or what?
Yeah, just a second. What I'm doing is so what you just sent me now, right? I just uploaded it.
Mm-hmm.
There's the link right there. So if you can go and look at that link, that's the one that you just sent me, that you can actually pull it up and go to that.
Can they click on it? Anybody watching this, can they click on it and it'll take them to the link?
After the broadcast is over, yeah, it'll become a link. Right now, It's just a comment, but you'll be able to click on the link afterwards. And even if they can't, they can copy and paste it and put it into the link, and they should be able to share it right there. So, the information's there, and I'll also put it in the show notes usually afterwards, so they can go back and look at that link afterwards.
Good.
So, they will have access to it. But yeah, there was one more question that actually, I believe Miss Lila had asked.
I promise you, I didn't ask her to feed us.
That's okay. I'm enjoying it. Yeah. So, her question was, what tech skills might service or labor industry professionals consider learning during this off time that give them more work options later?
Wow, that's a really good question. I'm thinking, the question is what do they want to do, right? So I know it's kind of an easy way out of this answer, but they can go to their managers, and even during furloughed or downtime, maybe that's what she's alluding to. And let me know, Lila, if this is what you're alluding to. That unless if you're a warehouse worker or delivery driver, you're going to be busy. You're not going to have time to learn those new skills. But the other professionals that are either a little slower than usual, that have been able to keep on with the companies, or for those that are being furloughed, they should ask their managers, even though it's during a leave of absence, what skills can I be working on to improve myself? And if your manager can't give you that answer, then I have a few expletives for that manager. So, but if they go, yeah, sure, here's where, if I was doing a performance review, this is what I'd tell you to go work on: communication skills, brush up on your business acumen and terminology. Look at analytics. We want to go to analytics, and maybe you could be that person to help us bring in the data we need to help make important business decisions, or HR business decisions, things of that nature. But there are things that you can do even on your own time, which I think is super important. I know that there's Coursera out there, LinkedIn, I believe, has courses that you can watch at no cost.
Yeah.
There's a lot of free learning tools out there.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to learn a new skill or a new trade or what have you, go look at some of those courses. But here's the thing: once you learn them, you've got to practice them every day. You can't just say, "Oh yeah, this is what I worked on. I'm ready to take it on."
Yeah.
You got to be able to show your boss, "Hey, in our off time, I decided to take this spreadsheet and super macro, make it super macro-y. So if you ever need help, here's what I'm able to do."
Yeah.
Those are the kind of things where, administrative folks or program analysts or program coordinators or project coordinators, those are the kind of things that you can work on, because when we come back, it's going to be data, move quickly. So all this slowdown, to me, everything's a marathon, not a sprint, but companies are going to be sprinting. And the ones that jump out of the gate faster, they have more skilled employees. They're going to come out ahead of all this.
Yeah, definitely. They're going to have the leg up for sure. That's again, and then, everybody's getting this time off, not because they want to, but again, and to your point, one of the greatest self-learning tools that I've used is YouTube, right? You can literally go.
You can Google anything
you want to. If you wanted to learn how to create a spreadsheet from scratch and go out there and learn how to make it, learn how to do all the the formulas to do everything you wanted to do in Excel, any of that stuff, go to YouTube, type it in exactly what you want to look for, and I promise you 20 videos will show up teaching you. Again, that's how I learned video editing. That's how I learned how to do all this stuff here. YouTube. Literally
it's not hard. It just takes time. It just takes time.
It just takes the time. That's it. If you're again, and what is the one thing we have right now that a lot of people have? Time. Use it to learn, man. Again, if for me, this is something that I'm learning as well. These are skills that I can go out and teach somebody else now that I'm, people are starting to actually ask me, how are you putting all this stuff together?
That's awesome.
And I got to tell them, I can literally write them a budget of $200 and I can get you set up to do everything you want to do for under $200. Under $200.
I'm going to call you.
Yeah. I'm using I bought this camera that I'm using. It's a 1080p Logitech camera. $27.45 I bought on Amazon.
I did HD, so mine was 45.
Yeah. But again, it depends on what you're using. Again, in the service that I'm using, the StreamYard, go to StreamYard. A lot of people are starting to discover StreamYard. It's a free service for up to 2 streams that you can use. You can upgrade to the business. I think it's a professional and business plan that allows you to have more access to more features. But again, if you're just going to stream, again, you can do that. The biggest investment I made was $79 for my Blue Yeti microphone. That's because that's something I wanted to spend money on. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, you got the same one I did. It's a Blue Yeti Nano. It's a condenser mic. These are things you learn. But again, my lighting, guess what? $8.65 light bulbs. There's a certain type you got to buy. The lighting that I use.
Is it daylight? Is it the daylight?
Yeah,
bulb?
it's the daylight. It's the daylight bulbs you got to buy. The brightest ones. I think it's the. Oh, what's the brightness that they have on them? But if you again, I have.
But I have no idea.
Yeah. So again, I have 1, 2, and I have one that hangs over my head. 3 lights. I didn't, and again, I spent $16, $24, I think it was. So again, my total's still under $150, and I still have it. Anybody can go buy a microphone. They can buy headphones here. Check it out. You can get these. I bought these at Walgreens for $17.99. Again, and I'm putting all this together. You don't even have to do all this. You can use your phone.
Yeah.
I can show you how to use your phone to go do, again, like I was doing with Lila a minute ago. You can do that on Instagram Live now.
That was too confusing.
Gotta do it all. But
where's that voice?
So again, like all the thumbnails and everything they create, I use 3 free apps. 3. And I use Canva, right? Mm-hmm. You can upgrade to Canva for the higher cost, right? For $12.99, I think it is to start out. I use Photopea and I use Lunapic. That's it.
What's Lunapic?
Okay, what Lunapic does, right, and this is the easier thing that I do with it, it can make my backgrounds transparent. So once I make them transparent, I can put them on anything, everything I want, any kind of background, anything like that. So, and it does a lot of the work for you, so you don't have to sit there and try to get what you want done. So it's a creative tool. And then Photopea, all I do with Photopea, that's where I use to put all my to create all my thumbnails and everything. So that's where I put the background, the transparent on top of it, my wording, anything else that I want to do. And it's then it just how creative you want to be with it. And it doesn't cost me anything. And I don't pay anything. And I found all these on YouTube because I wanted to know how to learn how to do it. And I went YouTube, greatest. Again, people, Google and YouTube are your greatest friends right now if you want to go out and learn how to do stuff, So I think, did we answer that one?
We haven't answered that.
No, we haven't that one. Lila, you are a gem, man. I don't know what to say except thank you. So it's a question from Michael. What should top companies do right now to attract top talent who may be suddenly open to making a move, even if they don't have a role for them yet?
Yeah, I would say primarily you want, not many people are moving. Right now. Let's just start with that. Even in the next 6 months, people who are employed are going to be loyal to their employers. I don't think any amount of money, because you never know what the risk is on the other side. And I would advise anybody thinking about a career move or job move to stop and count your blessings until you're either laid off or everybody's kind of pulled out and there's doing better hiring. Stick with them and be loyal to that company. It goes a long way. I survived 5 layoffs at Freeman and ended up working for them for another 5 years. And, and they appreciated that. The loyalty is there. So, but even if they don't have a role, so basically, if you are a recruiter or a sourcer or maybe an executive who starts reaching out and say, hey, I don't have anything right now, but I definitely want to talk to you when we come out of this thing because we're launching XYZ project.
Yeah.
Have those kind of conversations, again, checking in with them to make sure they're healthy and doing well and seeing how their projects are going at their company where they're currently working, and then bring them back. Just stay on to the top talent you want to attract, especially for those from a succession planning standpoint.
Yeah.
Because what's going to happen is, God forbid, should an executive catch the virus and pass away, someone's got to do companies have a succession plan, and can they say, I've got that spot filled?
Yeah.
Most will say, no, we do not, because they haven't planned for this. In the larger companies, not a problem. Small to medium-sized companies, they don't have any succession plans. And that's some of the things that I help companies do is look at their workforce plan and their succession planning, because if companies aren't planning for that, either win the lottery, hit by the bus, passed away from the virus type thing, they're going to be they might be in a real pickle, because now you're talking about the position sits empty. That costs the company, while it's not direct bottom line dollars, it does cost them money. And if they don't, the sooner they have someone at the ready to go, number one, it should hopefully be somebody internal that somebody has hired correctly to say, this is the person that we're replace this person.
Make the transition easier, right?
Transition easier, right? I always say internal first. So, but if there are any small to medium-sized businesses out there and you want to get on the phone, we can set up an appointment. We can talk, and happy to sit down for an hour. No, free of my time, and talk about what you got going to plan. What your succession plan needs, or how do you build it. Happy to help you get started. Yeah,
exactly. So again, this has been pretty fun, pretty informative. These are the things that I like to do whenever I bring people on. Because you get a point across, you get a message across, you get to, again, we're practicing interacting with each other. So, and it all goes back to, using video as, again, like we were saying at the beginning of our conversation, you could have been doing all this stuff from the beginning instead of waiting to go to conferences and putting all that together. And you could have been, using the power of what video actually is, because video, now people are starting to see it as a tool that it really is. Because again, there's so many uses you can do for it, right? It can be, business now is relying heavily on video. Schooling now, education, again, is relying heavily on video right now. And here it is now, social interaction. We're depending a lot on video to see people face to face. And again, the tools are out there, people. Everything's, right here in your hand. Literally, it's a hand. You got a computer in your hand. If you don't know that, it's the computer, people. Everything that I can do with my phone, with my laptop, I can do from my phone. So I can pull up files, emails, create, share, everything that I need to do, literally on the go from your phone.
Absolutely.
It's more than just a thing to post your comments on Facebook about. I tell people, again, FaceTime, Zoom, all these things that people were it was just an app on their phone that they hardly even used.
Yep.
And now they're starting to have to learn how to discover and use it all, I've had people ask, "What's a Zoom call?" Whoa.
In the last 2 weeks?
Yeah. Because there's some people that just, I got to tell them it's an app. Go to the app. I'll show you how to use it. It's pretty simple.
Join.me is just as good, right? Join.me is free as well.
Yeah.
You can only there's limitations to it.
Yeah, of
I'm
course.
going to be doing some posts next week about virtual networking. It's something I've been passionate about. I mean, I've been on 4 or 5 different virtual, whether it's happy hours or virtual meetings, and I'm going to be launching a leadership, a recruiting leadership and HR leadership Zoom webinar series that'll go on for about 3 months, and so I'm excited to be launching that next month. So just a lot of good things going on. I hope you can join us on one of the happy hours, and love to have you on my show as well.
Again, yesterday I was out there. Actually, I was pretty busy yesterday. I was on. Let's see. I was on Adam. I started out the day on Adam Posner's podcast there. So I was on there with Adam, and then from there I was on LinkedIn Live with Virgie Van Horst. We hopped on there for a little while, and then I did my regular show as well, and I did a podcast yesterday. So pretty busy.
Yeah, no, I mean, look, that's the beauty of creating content, is you can make yourself as busy or not busy as you want.
Exactly.
And I was worried that I wasn't going to be busy enough, and I'm doing that. I mean, I love being on these types of shows and talking to people and talking talent acquisition and, my thoughts and theories. And I appreciate Lila asking all those questions tonight. So I hope your audience, picked up on something. And
I'm pretty sure they have, and it's pretty cool. Again, so, not to blow smoke up her ass, but she helped me out a lot as well, as much as she did you, learning how to communicate, learning how to talk to people,
learning how to say things better.
Yeah. I took a lot from that. That was a pretty impactful little, day that we spent together, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. As you can see, it kind of helped me launch myself going forward into doing something like this. It gave me a lot of confidence, and, meeting those people and interacting, and, thank you. I don't know what else to say except thank you for being there. But
I typed her website in there, so throw that up on the screen.
Well, I plan to reach out to her because I want to have her on the show as well, to have her little day with me, because she's, again, there's quite a few people that I've reached out to on LinkedIn who who've helped me out enormously and helped me grow as a person. And to those people, I give all the gratitude in the world. Again, I got to meet you through Lila, and
she's a connector.
She is something special. So, well, folks, for tonight, I guess that'll do it for us. I do appreciate everybody coming on. Thank you, Lila Smith, for being a participant in the show this evening. Also, thank Michael for coming on. If you want to check him out again, you can reach out to him. Email him at michael@hiringtransform.com, or you can go to his website actually and check it out. It is www.hiringtransformed.com. So you can go there and give him a shout out as well. And she's sending love. Awesome. Appreciate it. And on that note, everybody, let me just give a little advance for tomorrow. My show guest tomorrow will be Carol Campos, and Carol does a podcast that she does with her friend Deb Sorensen, and I've been following her for a while. She is she's very laid back. I love a lot of her messages and stuff like that. So she'll be on the show tomorrow night, 7:00. Again, thank you guys for hopping on. Be safe out there. Wash your hands. Yeah, be healthy. Wash your hands. Practice good social distancing. And if you don't have to go out, please don't go out. Follow the stay at home, rule. Yeah, they're starting to enforce it now. So thanks again. Thank you, Michael, for hopping on. You guys have a great evening.